Hey, what's up guys? My name is Tristen. I'm an agent that helps other agents generate leads and then convert those leads. Today's video is gonna be like a rant because new agents make the same two mistakes. They play together and we're gonna talk about those now. Let's do it. The biggest mistake that most real estate agents make whenever they first get into business is they don't prospect enough. And prospecting can be literally anything. Most often you think of like door knocking, cold calling. It can be open houses, paid ads. It could be letters, email marketing, standing on the side of the street in a gorilla suit holding a sign that says use me as a real estate agent. It could literally be anything. That's prospecting. Just any way to get in front of new people that have never seen you, never heard of you, and trying to get them to use you some way, somehow. That's probably the number one biggest, most overarching mistake that most people make, is that they just don't do enough of that. Like they just aren't doing the thing that generates enough leads enough, because real estate is still a very people person business. You've got to communicate with the people. No AI person is gonna get you to buy from another real estate agent. So the biggest mistake is you just aren't doing enough, just sheer volume. Quick side story about this, just anecdotal experience. This one guy, I was trying to help coach him. I told him I do FSBOs, door knocking, cold calling. I do all of those things because they're free leads and I know him very well at this point. So he's like, how are you getting all this business? What do you do? And so then I said, I call for sale by owners. This is what I say. And I door knock. This is what I say. I give him the whole game plan. About 6, 7, 8 weeks later, I don't know the exact math, don't shoot me. He comes back, we meet, and he's like, dude, I've tried all this stuff. It's not working. We go through the scripts. He's saying the right stuff. We go through the objections. He's handling the objections. I'm like, dude, how are you not getting business? And I was like, all right, how many for sale by owners have you called? He said 5. I said, that's cool. Like 5 today? Or he said, no, 5. So you're telling me in the past 6, 7, 8 weeks, whatever it was, you've called 5 for sale by owners? He's like, yeah. He said it with pure confidence, like he was killing it, I was like, dude, I called 25 today. Suffice to say, he just wasn't doing enough. He was doing all the right stuff. He's listening to, me and other coaches, mentors, but he's just not doing the thing. He's not doing the thing that actually gets them business. He's not generating leads. He's not converting them because he's not even talking to enough people. He is just being lazy. Okay, now that kind of leads me into the second thing that I'm about to go on another rant for. It's kind of a spectrum. Some people just don't do enough volume, but they're willing to put on this facade, like they're trying so hard, they're listening to all these podcasts, they're showing up early, but they're really not doing anything. The other end of the spectrum is like, you're doing a lot of work, but you're not focused. So what I see all the other times is people will call for sale by owners for 2 weeks, and that's not working. So then they jump to expires, and that's not working, but they try that for a month. And then they go to just circle prospecting because, they saw that on YouTube. That doesn't work. Again, the point is like, you never actually get the whole point of like what you're trying to do. What's funny is each lead source, there's like a different sales process or sales flow on how you get the lead and then finally convert that lead to becoming your client and then actually closing them. But the point is until you go down one lead source and you absolutely master it and get really good at it, you're never gonna figure out the nuances. And really, no money is really made until you figure out all those nuances. So for example, now anecdotally, I started with for sale by owners. Because I started with for sale by owners, I realized they don't want to talk to me on the phone. So I have to figure out how to keep me on the phone. And then after I learned that skill, I then have to figure out how to build a relationship on the phone. And then after I figure out that, I have to figure out how to get into their house just to, become a friendly face that they actually know. Okay, now they've met me. Now they met me. Now I have to figure out how to follow up with them where they don't get pissed off at me. Okay, now I've learned that. Now I have to figure out how to actually ask for a listing appointment. Okay, figure that out. Now I actually have to figure out how to schedule the listing appointment, go to the listing appointment, and beat out the 3 to 5 other real estate agents that they're going to interview. Okay, now I figure out how to do a listing presentation better than other people so I can beat them. Okay, now I got to make sure that I actually take the listing at realistic terms and list price. So like then I really have to figure out how to overcome these objections so that I actually get a real listing that can actually sell. Then I actually have to learn how to sell the house. Like there's so many other processes that go into it. But if I would have went from for sale by owner, went 2 weeks and like people keep hanging up on me and just say this lead source sucks, I'm going to door knocking, and then go to door knocking like no one wants to talk to me on the doors either, and like I'm going to Zillow Pay. No, you just didn't figure out the way to get people to talk to you as a for sale by owner is to say something they never heard. Hey, is this the owner of 123 Main Street? Yeah, it is. Like, dude, I bet you've talked to 1 million realtors before. And they're like, oh yeah, but hey, making 1,000,001. And they're like, oh, ha, ha, ha. Like creating an actual like relationship from the start. You have to figure that out. But until you just master and commit to mastering one lead source, you're literally never going to figure out the nuances that create that sales flow so that you can take these guys to a close. You can never actually help this client. All right, the challenge that I want to leave you with is the same challenge like I challenged myself with for sale by owners. I knew for sale by owners were the worst lead. Everyone told me for sale by owners suck, don't do them, like they're just a waste of your time. They don't actually use realtors. Like, but I knew other people were getting listings from for sale by. I was like, you know, they're obviously doing it, so how can I do it? And then once I figured out how to actually do it, I realized that there were so many micro skills that I learned because I'm committed to mastering this lead source that it applied to every other lead source. But if I just tried for sale by owners and it didn't work, and just tried door knocking and didn't work, just tried this and didn't work, I never would have actually learned the micro skills. It's all those tiny little soft skills and micro skills that add up to being able to master a lead source. But until I understood FSBOs at a very deep level, I could never have went anywhere else. Once I just committed to learning it, and figuring out all the nuances and how to dance and how to get around and this poetic type sales flow, it wasn't until then that I committed to it that I actually started making money from it and then helping these other clients. So the challenge, to circle everything up for you guys, is find that lead source, I don't care what it is, and just go all in on it. Let's say you do want to be the gorilla on the side of the street with a sign in your hand. Maybe you'll learn that when you do back flips, you get more clients, or when you do front flips, you get less clients, or maybe when you run out in the middle of the road and tell people to stop in the middle of traffic, that more people see what you're doing and they want to use you. Or maybe you figure out that if you combine that with social media and you become the guerrilla realtor, that you make even more money. Like, you just don't know until you do it for 6 months, because after a month and you don't get clients in the gorilla suit, you're like, what else can I do to actually generate some business? So then you start to force yourself to learn these micro skills where you're like, I'm actually going to do cartwheels, because when I do cartwheels, people actually look. And then after I'm done with the cartwheel, I'm gonna hold up my sign so people know I'm the guerrilla realtor. Like, you'll figure out all these nuances so that slowly you've created this process where people are attracted. You don't know that if you just try it for 2 weeks. You've got to go all in on it and say, you know what? I don't care if I get no business or a ton of business, but for 3 months, I'm going all in. And that's essentially what I did. I didn't give it a timeline. I just said I was gonna figure it out, but give yourself a timeline. So that's my challenge. Anyways, yeah, that's the end of the rant. So that was super fun. My name's Tristen. By the way, I have a call from 10:30 to 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's called Sales Dogs, but the whole point of the call is you come with a idea that you wanna role play. Maybe it's a lead that you already have, or a lead that you're trying to get, or maybe it's a lead source that you need help with. I can help you. I can help you lay out the whole thing and do the whole thing and role play through it so you understand like what the buyer's thinking and all that other good stuff. It's free, broker agnostic. It's on Zoom, so it's super chill. And we have a ton of fun. Click the link down below to join. My name's Tristen. I'm out.